Talking with Steve Witherow from Tabeel Trading. Steve, can you just tell us a few things about the operation, what you're doing here, and when it started and things like that?
Certainly, Leon. Originally, the operation was put together for Kimberley-Clark about 4 to 5 years ago, and it was primarily feeding hardwood chip into the pulp mill at Millicent, and from there we had the pulp mill shut its hardwood plant down, and the equipment here, or some of it, became surplus, and it sat idle for 6 to 12 months, and then we had Mitsui, who the world's largest trading houses, showed interest in the resource that was. From there, Mitsui have put together a contract between their company and ours, and all of the product that's being produced here is transported to Portland and taken to a pulp mill in Japan, where they make high-grade quality paper, the sort of stuff you see in calendars, anything that's got a nice shiny film on it, which is what the hardwood is predominantly used for. The first bit of equipment that cuts the tree down is known as a feller buncher. It is a high capacity disc saw that cuts down, it can cut down eucalypt and pine. So that's where it starts. It then moves to what's known in the industry as a skidder, which is the machine that backs in, grabs the trees and drags them to the debarking machine. The debarking machine is the piece of equipment that we mentioned that's been manufactured by our company locally. That's been a huge success. The trees then enter that machine and it debarks the tree, takes the limbs off, takes all the leaves off, and it then exits that machine and enters the chipper. The chipper is an American-made piece of equipment. It then enters the chipper, and the chipper then produces chip that enters the chip van that you'll see, and that's how the process works. After the van is full of chip, it's then dragged from the forest site to where we're standing, which is known as a landing, and that's called pre-hauling, because the road trucks can't get into the forest because it's obviously pretty rough terrain and can get quite boggy or sandy, either or. After the pre-hauling, the vans are taken off and the road trucks enter the forest landing and drag the prime movers and drag the trailers to Portland. And it's at Portland that there's been a facility put in by Mitsui, who are the principal contractor, and that facility tips the whole truck and trailer up in the air and empties the chips into a receival facility. At that receival facility it's also screened, so chips all go across a machine that checks for size and can also remove some types of sticks or whatever might get in the load that's not desirable. Every load is sampled. What they're looking for is a distribution of size across a range, and we have to meet targets on every load, and if we don't, we're penalised for that. So yeah, the quality aspect of the job, particularly contaminants, are a major issue that is heavily policed. For example, plastic or rubber or anything like that is included in the chips, that can create some big problems at the pulp mills when they're trying to produce paper. So the whole system from start to finish is designed to try and trap those things, to make sure they can't happen. So all of the equipment that the wood goes through is not allowed to have any of that type of thing in it, to try and maintain that. Everybody's watching. So there, but the quality is paramount to the pulp. Because when they get the chips there, they have to cook the chips and break it down, and if it's all the wrong sizes, then their process doesn't work properly. So at this stage, there's enough area to support this operation for the next three years, and we're currently harvesting at a rate of 110,000 tonnes per annum. So we clear every day. The plantations are yielding somewhere around between 170 and 200 tonnes per hectare. With those numbers, we're knocking out about 500 tonne a day. So yeah, we can cover three hectares a day. There's 8 people on site here, and there's also an infrastructure behind that you don't see, which would comprise of at least 3 people.